So SWISAfrica, we're an organization that aims to promote, celebrate, and encourage young women in STEM and people who have made a career and path for themselves in STEM, such as yourself, and to tell your story and to celebrate you as well. And we're going to be sharing this video, this interview on our social across our social media platforms. And it's lovely to have you here again. May we have a brief introduction of who you are, your name, how did you get to where you are in STEM?
Okay, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Abisoye today, and I am in like food science. I studied food science during my undergraduate. I studied food science at the Federal University of Technology, Akure. And during my master's, I also studied food science at the University of Manitoba. And I came from Nigeria, of course. So my passion in food is, I believe it's just beyond, you know, um, it's just beyond, okay, let's go there, let's do it scientifically. We want people to see the outcome and everything. For me, it's just a personal thing because one of the things that instilled this passion in me was when I was very young. Um, you see, my dad was a diabetic patient before he died. And then, when he would go to the hospital, they would tell him, oh, you need to eat this, you don't have to eat that, you don't have to eat that. And in my mind, I was like, why are they so, you know, concentrating on the food? Why not the drug? Of course, they were giving him drugs, but they were also very, very particular on what he ought to eat and what he shouldn't eat. So I began to wonder, what is the correlation between food and health? Why is the need for uh, people like planning their meal, looking into what they wanted to eat, and why do we need to have a designated kind of food for some set of people? So that began to stir up my interest in food science. Actually, initially, I wanted to study nutrition and dietetics. Yeah. So but the school I was going to into then, Federal University of Technology, Akure doesn't have that course. But I then, okay, which one is more related to that? And I saw that it's food science. And thank God, I have never regretted studying food science because it even expanded my horizon. There are more things to explore, even in food science. Yes. So that's basically what stirred up my interest in food science. Yeah. And currently, after my master's degree, I currently work as a quality assurance associate coordinator at City Bread Co. Yeah, here in Canada, Winnipeg.
Hey, that's wonderful. That's such an interesting story. So,
Thank you.
what would you say? So you mentioned that what really got you into food science was your dad's diabetic condition and also getting to know the correlation between food and health. So, what inspired you to keep going in this aspect, like pursuing a master's and even now being a quality assurance associate in Winnipeg? So, what inspired you to continue on the journey of food science?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Um, To answer that briefly, just picture a gift. You are given a gift and it's wrapped up in so many, wrappers. And the first wrap that you open, you saw that there is more to open, right? And the more you open, the more the wrappers gets, you know, interesting, beautiful, captivating, attractive. So I would say that is how the food science is to me. Because when I started, without knowing anything. It's just my passion. and what I wanted to know. And the more I got into it, the more I saw that, oh, there is more to these things. And it's not just, food science is an aspect of science that is really, really preferring solution to different situations. For example, the main thing, which is the health, everybody wants to be healthy, right? So it's also kind of, give me this pleasure that me putting myself into the study is not just all about me. I'm also getting prepared, yes, to solve solutions, to solve problems and prefer solutions to different situations. Yes. So it has really, really been an interesting journey, and there are diverse aspects of food science. And by the grace of God, I'm really, really going into the aspect of food formulations, and also, the aspect of the quality assurance. So it has really been an interesting journey for me, really. Yes, really, I can say that all over and over again, because it's another thing to do something. It's a beautiful thing to do what you love. Yeah, so that's it for me.
Oh, that's wonderful. And can you share about a mentor or role model who played a significant role in shaping your STEM career, and how did they inspire you?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I've met with different people that they've really um, impacted me positively, and they've helped me to grow and even help my passion more for this. But one of them that I would really want to mention was one of my professors when I was when I was doing my undergraduate studies at the Federal University of Technology, Akure. So of course, she's a mother. She was a professor, and she just resonated with me very well, because each time she come to the class, I just studied the way she gives us the lecture. She was not just giving us what we need to know. She was also telling us how to, put all those things that we know into use. She was very passionate in helping us to learn, and instilling the passion to learn into her. So there was a time I went to her, and I told her how, like, how I've been blessed, and how the way she teaches has really inspired and impacted me positively. And I was able to ask some questions, and seeing that she was also, she like married with children, and the way she was balancing everything together, and she was also exploring in the career that she has chosen. So this really helped me, and conversing with her then really helped me to boost, number one, my confidence. And she made me realize that I shouldn't have this mindset that I cannot. She helped me to also focus more on my studies, because then too, I was really, really dedicated to my studies by the help of God, because I just knew that there is more to that. So and I was able to, come out of my shell. She was one of the people that also helped me to come out of my shell, because so I came out, and I began to step into some leadership roles, and also, join some organizations that has really shaped me till now. Yes, and another one that I would say, this has been from the very start of my life, and that's my mom. So yes, my mom was my biggest cheerleader, and of course, she's still my biggest cheerleader. So then, because my mom was, um, she's really, really intelligent, I would say that. And she graduated as the best student in her class. but not on first class, you understand? So she would say that, oh, she wanted to do this, but she was telling us different limitations that she encountered, and she was telling us, particularly me, that I shouldn't allow those limitations, and told me that I can do it. She motivated me, encouraged me, she taught me and tutored me. I would say that. So that really built the strength in me and encouraged me. And I also add that I would do it. And of course, I have so many mentors. Yes, I would say that I've encountered different people, but my family is my biggest supporters. And um, yes, so that's one thing about that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
What would you say? Can you share what some of your goals to achieve in the nearest future in food science would be?
Oh, interesting. Okay, so in food science, my passion basically is giving solutions to health challenges. Yes, giving solutions to health challenges. So in the nearest future, I really desire to lead a team into um, developing innovative and functional foods product, because functional food are foods that they have the ability and capacity to not just give us the nutrients that we need, but also give us some certain things, some certain things that could help build our immune system, fight against diseases, and all that. So I would love to create, yes, develop different functional food products, especially from underutilized African crops. Because one of the things that we have noticed is that in Africa, we are blessed with different crops that could give us the things that we need to boost our health status. But people really don't know because we are not exploring them. So when we explore them, it will give the awareness to people that this particular crop, this particular plant can do this, can do that, and people will begin to, take them, consume them, and it will give the health, the thing that we want in our health. So another thing also, the how to achieve this, that you know trusting God to help me, is to work with industry partners and transform scientific findings into market based solution that that can that can provide this benefits to our health. So we need to let people be aware of the fact that if you consider the things you eat, if you are really, really deliberate in the things you take into your system, it can really go a long way into preventing you from consuming drugs and drugs and drugs. Drugs is good, it helps, but if we go the natural way too, it's better because it will also prevent other things, other maybe residual chemicals that comes into our body through drugs. So that's one of the things that I'm hoping to achieve by the grace of God. And another thing also is to mentor young girls that are coming into the food industry, because it's a beautiful thing really, but people don't really have this knowledge. I remember, just to chip this in, I remember when I was very young, and when I told people that I'm going to university to study food science and technology. Oh, food science. You want to go and learn how to cook. That was what people were saying at a point, because I didn't really have the knowledge of what I was going to do there. I was almost getting discouraged. Am I going to study in the university for 5 years to learn how to cook? But no, that wasn't what it's all about. It's beyond cooking. In fact, cooking is not even a part. It's not that. We study more than that. Basically, what the benefit we can get from food, we explore them and make the awareness to let people know that you need to be deliberate in your food. Yes, in what you eat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And yes, actually, I sort of relate to what you said about people thinking you're just going to university to learn how to cook. Because
Mhm.
at some point in my life, I actually considered studying food science. And when I would tell some of my friends, they would say, "Ah, you just want to go and eat. You just want to go and learn how to eat." And it's like, thank you so much. So, as a food scientist, thank you for exposing the knowledge that food science is not just about learning how to cook and
At
eat.
all. It's not even part.
So thank you so much for that. And
Welcome.
so just piggybacking off what you said about people thinking that you were going there to learn how to cook, what are some of the other challenges that you faced when you were approaching a career in food science? And how did you overcome those to remain successful in your field?
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for that question. So, one of the challenge, I would say that first part I mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
that do you want to go and learn how to cook? But I thank God for the people that surround me. Also, one of my biggest supporter then was my elder brother, right? So when he was even the one that really told me at first that was very sure that food science is not about just cooking. Yes. So one of the things that he did for me then was that he connected me to one of his friend that was a lead lady that studied nutrition and dietitian. So when I got connected with the lady, she then exposed me a little bit into food science, right? She exposed me and let me know the things that I should expect. So that challenge was solved at that point because it really helped me and boosted my confidence that I know that I'm going there for something much more beyond cooking. So another challenge that I also had was a limited access to mentorship, especially people from my career. So I really did not have, especially from women. Like I'm a woman, right? So at a point I just wanted someone that is a woman in my background that would really really nurture and tutor me. But the way I overcome that challenge was that I began to get involved in organizations that support women in science. Yes. So when I started getting involved into the organization, then it's really helped me. Even though at a point I was not having a one-on-one mentorship program with anyone, but being in that community guided me and helped me. You understand? So after that, when I started that, then I noticed the changes in me. And one of the things about me was how to come out of my shell and knowing all the stereotypes about girls in STEM. There has been stereotypes, and there is still stereotypes that a lady, guys in STEM will always do better than women in STEM and all that. But that was a mentality that had to change in me before I was able to achieve whatever I desired to achieve. And that's why I always encourage people, especially if you're a lady and you're coming into STEM, do not listen to that stereotype. It has always been and it will still be. So the first thing is that erase that mentality from your mind and have this belief that, of course, if and we have seen so many women that they are excelling in STEM a lot now, a lot. And nowadays we also have different organizations that are organizing one-on-one mentorship with ladies in STEM. For example, SWISAfrica, it's one of our biggest, desire. And we have other organizations out there that even I have been a partaker of. So erase that mentality. The moment I was able to erase that, it's really helped me began to push me to do the things that I needed to, and know that there is no limitation. One of the things that I would always say is that the moment you begin to see yourself as a competitor with another person, it would limit your achievement, because you can never outgrow or perform better than who you are competing with, because your greatest achievement will be the achievement of your competitor. But the moment you erase that and you see yourself not as a competitor, but as one that you want to become a better version of yourself, you want to be better at what you do, then you begin to do things in a right way. So the women are not competing with the men. No. What we are doing is that men are succeeding in STEM, women will also succeed in STEM. So do not have that stereotype. So that challenge, the moment I was able to overcome that, it really helped me, and it has been helping me in a long, like, way time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I feel like the next question we're about to ask, just you pretty much answered it, but just to thank you so much for your time today, and just to round up the interview, do you have any other words of advice or final words of encouragement that you would like to give younger women who are coming up in STEM, or just people who are considering a career, maybe a career change to something in the STEM field?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So I would advise, the first advice is that if you know that you want this, you want to pursue a career in STEM, and you know that it's what you want, I would advise you go for it. People will discourage you. Just from my own experience, people told me that, am I going there to learn how to cook? I remember someone even jokingly said, so you will go and study for 5 years to cook, to learn how to cook semo. So semo is semo is a Nigerian food. It's a swallow food that we one of the things that we love so much. And so the person was like, so you go to university for 5 years to learn how to cook semo. Semo is not even something that takes much time. You just put it to water and stir it up. But I didn't allow that to discourage me. And I had, apart from the negativity I was getting from some people, I also had some people around me that were pushing me and giving me the strength, the confidence. Yes, so surround yourself with people of like minds, people that would not see and focus on your weakness. It's okay to have weakness, but you need to focus on your strength. Because if you keep on focusing on your weakness, you will not be able to achieve anything. So, but if you know that, okay, you have this weakness, but you have the strength, channel your energy. It doesn't also say that you shouldn't try to make your weakness a strength, but do not sit on it. So when surround your people with good people, surround yourself with people of like mind. Do not focus on your weakness. And also, if you have the opportunity to get into a leadership position, and essence, one of my challenges then is that I had so many opportunities to get into a leadership role, but I wasn't, because I was like, I can't do this. I was telling myself then that, no, this is it's too big. It's not something that I wanted to do. But no, the moment I began to say, oh, I can do it, then I began to step into some roles, and it has really, really helped me. So do not shy away from responsibilities. And whenever you make mistakes, please don't sit on it. It's okay to make mistake, but what is not good is when you make a mistake and you sit on it, and the next time you make the same mistake, the next time you make the same mistake. No, but it's okay to make mistake, but you learn from your mistakes. Yes, you learn from your mistakes. For example, when I was doing my research, my graduate research program at the University of Manitoba, as a researcher, I made a lot of mistakes in the lab, but the moment we identify the mistake, we redo the experiment and ensure that our results align to standard. The result is giving us the right result, and it's following the procedures. So please, and I would say for all girls coming into STEM, you can do it. STEM is actually amazing. You meet a lot of people in STEM, a lot of women, especially from Africa, that they are making waves. So please, you can do it. And as we all come together, join hands together, we know that in togetherness we can achieve more by the help of God.
So, what are some other roles that you have encountered in food, in the food science world, and do you have any community engagement roles that inspired you to continue in this field, or that you might have discovered along your path in your field?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Um, I actually am dedicated to community engagement. It's really something I love doing. Yes, and I remember the first community engagement that I had that was related to food was the one I had back home before coming from my graduate studies. It was with Zero Food Waste. So it was an organization. So what we did then was to fight against food wastage, because of course, as some people are complaining of lack of food, they don't even have the access to food. Some people, they are wasting the kind of food that can even feed 4 people in a day. So that was the main zeal, the main goal, to sensitize people and let them know that food wastage, it's a no. So it's also, of course, related to global warming. So the less food we waste, the more healthier it will become for our environment. And after that, I've also been engaged with other community, but one of the community that I'm currently engaged with now that is also related to food is my role with the Winnipeg Regional Health Authorities. I volunteer with them as a community nutrition educator. So what we do is that we go out there. So they assign different people to us, different section. So I go there, I talk about different topics related to food, related to nutrition, and even related to the best way that it's the best way for you to do your groceries that will help you to eat healthier. Yes. So we give different talks like that. And apart from that, also, I've been privileged to also volunteer, even with the Winnipeg Regional Health Authorities, to assist a dietitian at one of our community engagements. So yes, I assisted dietitian, and it really opened me up to different stuff, like what I was saying the other time, that you don't say no to leadership role. I know that one of the things that really helped me and opened me up is the fact that the moment I began to say yes to some roles, that moment I began to get exposed. I have this exposure, the confidence, the experience, which is very, very important. Yes, the experience. And also, apart from that, I'm also engaged with other community that is not related to food. For example, I volunteer with SWISAfrica. Yes, I'm also a volunteer with RFG Racing Foundation for Generation. Yes, and I've been able. I was at a point I also volunteered for Let's Talk Science, even in Winnipeg. Yes, so those roles, those experiences has really, really helped me. And one of the things that I would also advise girls coming into STEM is that look for a community, look for organizations that you can volunteer with. It might not really be related with your career or with what you are pursuing, but the fact that you are volunteering with an organization is something that is very important, because apart from the fact that it gives you experience, it also helps you. Maybe you are going to get a job, you go for a job interview, they ask for your community engagement and all that. I remember one of the job that I was able to get interviewed for, and the main reason why they called me for an interview was because of my community engagement, because that was basically what we discussed in the interview. Yes, that was basically what I was like. They were so interested in my volunteering roles, and it was really an awesome experience for me even during the interview, because it's enlightening me that, oh wow, so I'm not just being volunteering just for ends, like I'm impacting souls, I'm impacting lives, and it's also even having positive impact on my life. Yeah. So
Wonderful. And there's something that you mentioned that I'm really interested in. You mentioned how, in your volunteering experience with Winnipeg Regional Health Authority, you also, one of the things you spoke about when you went to these communities was the best way to buy groceries. So, from a food scientist point of view, are there some tips that you can provide to us, the general public?
thank you for that question. Okay, so there are many tips that you should consider whenever you are going to get groceries. So the first thing is, of course, if you are going for groceries, you need to write your list, because it will guide the way you spend. And not just write your list, you need to stick to it. So the first thing is you check what you have and what you don't have. So you want to get what you don't have, right? You write the list. And another thing is that if you're going for grocery shopping, it is best you don't go hungry, because if you go hungry, you will be attracted to so many things that you don't even need at that time. But because you have this hunger, and you just feel like, oh, I'll eat this, I'll take this, I'll take this. Yes, so you don't go to for grocery shopping hungry. Another thing is that meal planning is very important. When you plan your meal, it helps you to get the right product in the stores. Yes. And of course, when you are going to the store, don't go for shopping for, like, say you are going for shopping and you targeted 10 minutes. No. When you go for shopping, you have to take your time. And another thing that is very, very important when you go for your groceries is that don't just pick anything. Read the labels. You need to know the nutrition facts. You need to see the things that are listed there, because it's something very important. For example, if you're someone that by yourself you just determine that, oh, I don't want to take too much sugar, then definitely the things you are buying must have less sugar. So if you are not looking at the nutrition fact table, how will you know the things that you are buying? How will you know if they have more sugar or less sugar? So please take your time. Don't rush. When you go for grocery shopping, do not rush. Look at the nutrition fact table. Check the things that you need. And if it's possible, in your best possible way, go through all the highs if you are able to, and compare your products. Because another thing that can help you for grocery shopping is to have this mentality on ways that can prevent you from spending more more like from spending more money. So you compare prices. For example, you have the same product, the same nutritional benefits, the same ingredients, and one is maybe $5.91, and another one, but different brand, is maybe $3.05. So you compare the two prices. Okay, the two have what you want, and the two are of the same product but different brand. So for me, I would go for the one that is cheaper, not because it's just cheaper, but it's giving me the same thing that I would get from the next thing. But if you don't go through the highs, you will not be able to compare the prices, and you will not be able to compare to see the product. So it's very important. Another thing that is important when you buy when you buy stuff at the groceries is you check the best before dates. There are some products that you buy that you know that you're not taking them the day you are buying them, you're not taking them the next day, the next, so you have to plan and say, oh, I'll be taking this so dates, and I know before that time the thing would not have expired. So those are some of the tips that we lecture on when we go for the community engagements. So that's just a brief summary of some of the tips for grocery shopping.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I needed those tips. I'm hoping that someone in the general public also needed those tips because that's very interesting. I usually don't read the nutrition facts because
It's very important.
yeah, I'm just hoping that the description in front is good enough, but yeah, I guess from now on I will try to glance more at the nutrition
Yes.
facts.
Yes, it's important because yes, what you see basically, if you're not checking the nutrition fact, is the name, the brand, and the price. But if you go, you flip over, you see the table, you see the ingredients. I remember I saw a video recently for the people that for nursing mothers, what they should get for their children, and there are some products that the ingredients listed there, you are like, what are these things? So if you don't read them, you just take them and you give it to your baby, and the baby might not be consuming the right amount of those things. So you check the ingredient, you check the amount that is there. So for some, it's you can take some things in so amount, but for some, if you see that, oh, this is beyond maybe the number of calories that you have to take in a day, the number of grams you have to take in a day, so you don't take them and you go for the ones that are much lesser.
Okay. Right, that's great. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
to